everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 87. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today, we are doing, insert Godzilla roar here, Godzilla! But before we get into that, a little bit of a very exciting week of entertainment news. So first and foremost, sir, something dear to you and me, Magic the Gathering, the animated series, is being done on Netflix by the Russo brothers, the people who brought us the Avengers and Avengers Endgame. Hot diggity damn. I, sir, am personally excited about that.
That's going to bring in a whole new fan base, I think.
Yeah. They said were longtime fans of the game, and it'll be around, of course, the Planeswalkers, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself, because they think of what they can do with that show, with the Magic the Gathering show. The possibilities are endless because there's so many cards,
right?
Where
Hope it doesn't affect negatively the card game.
It should. It's going to bring more attention to it
because they're going to start releasing stuff that's strictly related to the show, a lot of merchandise and whatnot. So you never know what's. Something might become super popular that shouldn't be just because of the show, and people will be like, "Well, that's not what the game's about."
Let's hope they keep it pure. Because D&D has tried over the years to create TV shows and movies and failed, but the game has always stayed kind of pure. So I'm hoping that Wizards of the Coast do that with Magic as well. Brings me to Quentin Tarantino. We talked a little bit about him in Trailer Sods a couple weeks ago. Quentin Tarantino is developing the Django, the D silent, sorry, Zorro crossover movie. There's already a set of comic books based on this, and he's co-writing a script for it, and it will be the official sequel of Django. What do you think, sir?
Did you say Django and Zorro? Django
and Zorro, sir.
Zorro?
Zorro, the Z is not silent.
What?
Yeah, there's a comic book series based on it already that he wrote, which I read the first two. It's pretty fun. Zorro's older, and Django's just kind of obsessed with him, and he wants to learn from him, and Django's still doing his bounty hunter thing, and he teaches him some things, and they go out together and do shit. It's pretty awesome. And if they can get Antonio Banderas back for it, come on, that fits perfect.
I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I'm gonna have to let that one soak in for a while.
Oh, what's the negative about it?
I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me for some reason. Time period wise, is it correct? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because
okay.
Zorro's a bit older. Like I said, he's not in his prime anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna see you some stuff.
I'll give it a try.
That'll bring us to a little bit of controversy. My boy, Captain Jack Sparrow. We spent a little bit on the past show talking about his issues with Amber Heard. A petition came out to bring Captain Jack back to the new Pirates next Pirates of the Caribbean, because they're having issues with that. They were going to oust him because of the Heard issues. Turns out that was not Johnny Depp. It was a flipper-roo on there. He has put out a lot of evidence showing that she, in fact, was the one abusing him. Yeah, and which kind of makes sense now, because he kept saying, and then J.K. Rowling kept saying, why she didn't oust him from Fantastic Beasts, I've seen the evidence. And they never went to detail on what that evidence was. Well, apparently he has tapes of him being bruised, him being beaten, tapes of her hitting herself and then claiming that she was saying, I'm going to blame this on you, stuff like that. So Jack may be back.
part of that saddens me, and then part of it's good. What saddens me is that you want to believe whenever someone tells you something happens.
Yes.
You want to believe it. Because why would you make up something that horrible and say that happened? But then there's people who take advantage of that, case in point. Mm-hmm. And so then you're just like, well, dang it. I mean, I want to believe people, but now you're just proving that there's two sides to the coin, and there's a bunch of people, well, not a bunch. There's probably more than people would think of people who are doing that. And I think it really makes other people's claims harder to believe.
Exactly.
When you want to believe them, you're supposed to take that person's word, but especially when they're talking about something like that. But then you have people abusing that, and it just makes me upset to hear that. Same here.
And the real problem is social media, because it used to be we'll get a newspaper of it or a tabloid of it, but now it comes out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and millions of podcasts and millions of people get behind it and start swaying everyone else, because it's like one thing, she comes out and says, oh, he hit me, and then all of a sudden now that gets retweeted, reshared, reposted a million times, and Johnny Depp is now dragged through the mud by millions of people. So it's so easy these days for the popular opinion to sway what things without all the facts. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I like I said, I believed in the Queen, J.K. Rowling. It was like, if she's standing behind him, as much of an activist and woman's right person that she is, there's got to be a good reason, So I'm glad this is all coming out, and because, like I said, Captain Jack is my boy. But yeah, moving on to trailers. You first or me, sir?
I'll go ahead and jump in there.
Alrighty.
So this I'm not okay. First of all, I'm not saying this looks like the best movie ever, because it doesn't look like the best movie ever. But it's coming from one of my favorite movies from way back in the day. I'm sure everybody knows who Rambo is. Yep. I love me some first. Yeah, you do. I love me some First Blood. That was just, for me, that was like my action movie back in the day when that came out. That was just great. And I understand maybe he shouldn't be making any more movies, but it's still cool that he's able to get into character and make one more Rambo film. Yeah. Rambo Last Blood.
So the Old Town Road and going right. Okay, sorry. I was going to sing that slightly underneath you.
But Rambo's back, y'all. If whether you like it or not, he is back. And I would like to see how they, hopefully they mean it when they say Last Blood. I want to see him in,
he's got to die, right?
Yeah, a genuine last, Rambo movie. Close that chapter up. So I'm excited to see that. And it doesn't look horrible. No, it's kind of weird that he's like kind of on a ranch farm, whatever it is, and he's trying to do the normal thing. It's Rambo. You can't do the normal thing. People are always going to bring that out of you. You are who you are. So it's going to be fun just to see him doing Rambo again. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that was an awesome trailer. Like you said though, it's something. I hope it's finite. I hope it is Last Blood.
Even if it's great, don't be like, okay, we need another because it was good. Yeah, just let it end on a positive note.
My trailer is Astra, the new, just released today, actually, Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones space movie. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but Brad Pitt is an astronaut, and it looks sci-fi-ish, actually. Have you seen this trailer?
I have not. I'm gonna check it out right after this, though. So
Brad Pitt is an astronaut going into space. It looks kind of like at first like a Solaris, or what was the one with her name?
I know what you're talking about, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Thank you. It looked like those Gravity. Looks like a
realistic.
Yeah, but then, because he's up there, and then all of a sudden, what they call the surge happens. The space station he's working on gets bombarded, and he starts falling he falls off the space station and starts plummeting towards Earth, and then just wakes up in a hospital bed. And I'm assuming what is his wife, played by Jennifer Connelly, is like, they're calling it the surge, and it's going crazy. And I'm like, wait, what? What are we doing here? Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, so he gets better, I guess, and then he gets sent on another mission. And the guy's like, 16 years ago, your father went on a mission that was supposed to save Earth, and now he was going after something that could destroy it now. And they've been missing for the last 16 years, and we need you to find him. And his father's played by Tommy Lee Jones. But then all of a sudden it leaps to him like going through this speech. I'm a good soldier. I will do the best of my abilities and blah, blah, blah. But they show a laser fight on the moon. Like, I don't know, like while driving moon rovers, these guys are shooting at each other with lasers. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, it looks like a good trailer. Ad Astra, and that's ASTRA. Check that one out. But that will bring us to Godzilla, King of Monsters. Insert roar here. Yes, Watchbot, if you wouldn't mind.
Members of the cryptozoological agency Monarch face off against a battery of god-sized monsters, including the mighty Godzilla, who collides with Mothra, Rodan, and his ultimate nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah. When these ancient super species thought to be mere myths rise again, they all vie for supremacy, leaving humanity's very existence hanging in the balance. It stars Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, Ken Watanabe, and of course Godzilla.
Thank you, Watchbot. Man, so I really should have watched the first one before I went and saw this one again.
Mm-hmm. You mean rewatch? You've seen it before.
Rewatch, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Rewatch the first one before, because I was like, wait a minute. What happened here? Mm-hmm. Did you rewatch it?
I remember. I had seen it not too long ago, so
okay. Yeah,
I was good on it.
First thing I want to say, Godzilla looks like Mike Tyson with little arms.
He hasn't changed from the last movie. He looks exactly the same as last movie. We complained about it.
There were so many bigger shots of him, like more shots of him in this one. So I was like, man, he's kind of tubby. Like Mike in his old age, he still wouldn't mess with him. But he's got he's a little tubby. He's got a little belly, but then a little bitty arm.
He's a big boy.
And then you go up to his face, and he's like, I will knock you the fuck out if you come over here. But sir, what'd you think of this one?
I feel I've pretty much the same way I felt about the first one. I thought that they tried on this one. They tried with the character development, and they almost had me with the daughter making the eggs and the burnt, toast and the burnt bacon, whatever. Yeah. They almost had me, and they tried to talk about what's that?
11.
Well, yeah, for one, I didn't like that 11 was in it. I wish they would have picked somebody else, because I kept seeing, 11, as opposed to seeing, in a movie that's kind of similar to the show she's famous for. So yeah. That kind of took me out of it a little bit. But they almost had me with the character development, with the loss of the child, and then the dad's drinking a little too much, and he has to go away, and she's emailing him, but doesn't want the mom to know. They almost had me, but then they completely drop all that, and they just go into, we're going to chase giant monsters and then run from them as we get there. That was basically all they did the entire movie. It's like they're like Monarch. I was trying to figure out what exactly Monarch did.
So they were supposed to apparently contain and find a way to destroy these monsters. Was their original task, but that apparently changed.
But it's like they're studying them, but they want to destroy them. And then one of them wants to wake them up, and then they're basically just monster storm watchers or chasers, storm chasers. Because they just, whenever there's a giant monster, like, we got to get there, and they get on their giant, pretty sweet little aircraft, and they go fly to
shield
it.
jet.
Yeah, it's like they get there and they're like, yeah, we're here. And I'm thinking, what are you guys going to do when you get there? And then when they turn around, they run because the thing is chasing them. So it happened like multiple times during the movie. It's like, we got to get there. They get there and then they got to run. So I'm just like, okay, well, what's the point?
I have to agree with you. Like the story development just wasn't there. Like, and I guess I shouldn't be looking for crazy good story in a Godzilla movie monster, but I don't know.
There's got to be a human element that you care about, and I understand they threw this family in there thinking that we were going. And I did kind of like the twist where the mom kind of goes bad, you know.
Yes, I did like that.
That was kind of.
I hated her plan.
Yeah, the plan was stupid. But and it was almost kind of like Thanos in a way. I mean, she was like wanting to destroy as much.
Like you're releasing giant monsters that there's no real control.
Yeah, I guess after they do what they do, I guess they just go back to sleep. I don't know exactly how they were supposed to, how the plan was supposed to work out, but that's apparently how the Earth's defenses, little biological defenses, is giant monsters.
Because while they're fighting, they're pooping.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the whole thing. That's why it grows, because their poop is radioactive and it grows. Well, I didn't understand that either. It's like they're radioactive helps the plants grow faster. It's like, wait, that's not how radioactivity works.
I guess a slight amount of the sun's basically radiation, so
it is.
It helps things grow. But
these things are oozing it. That's how they track them.
Yeah, it's what they were trying to say is that I guess they're minute levels of radiation somehow, it's like miracle grow and just makes plants grow a little faster or something. I don't know.
It is the dumbest plan probably I've ever heard in a villain story. Let's unleash 16, because we don't see one for good reason. They're saving him for the next movie. But let's unleash 16 giant freaking monsters and have them duke it out for supremacy while we hide in bunkers and wait for the aftermath. And then we'll come out to a new world with less people.
I don't know. It's weird, but that even the plan didn't bother me as much as just how the movie played out. It was just, for me, it was a few good monster scenes and a whole bunch of garbage in between.
How did you feel about the alien introduction?
I felt like they were all like aliens in a way, but then to say that this one particular, like Chidora, I think its name was an alien. I didn't really feel like it was okay. I thought it was just a cool. Why couldn't it just be another giant monster? Why did it have to be an alien?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, really? Do you really need to introduce alien? I don't know, but then I did enjoy how storms fucking followed him as he walked. I liked how he manipulated the atmosphere around him to be like this weird thing. Giant hurricane.
That was cool. But then how was he able to talk to all these other giant creatures if he was an alien? It's like,
see, and that's what I don't get.
If they weren't aliens too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then the orca didn't really make much sense either. It was just like this device that somehow calm them down by finding the right frequency of the roar. When clearly it's not the roar that it takes. It's just whichever one can beat up the biggest one is the one.
And why does this always have to happen in movies like this? Right when they open it up, she takes her little thing. She's like, the Mothra is about to break out and is like hurting people. So what do you want to do? You're going to run towards it. Put yourself in danger. Okay. Make sure your child's safe. That's fine. But then guess what the child does? The same exact thing. She runs like she's going to do something to Mothra or save her mom somehow. She runs to her mom. Every single time this happens in a movie, it's like there's this threat that everybody should stay away from, and people just run towards it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why did they call it Mothra? It was in a giant egg. How do they know what it's going to be?
Exactly. They don't know what's coming out of that cocoon. It could be anything, but
oh man, there's so many problems with this movie. I wanted to love it because I want to see the next one very badly. I wanted to kind of just skip over this one actually. But Yeah,
I was waiting for
the monster fight scenes were great.
I was waiting for a mechanical Godzilla mech suit to just come out of somewhere. I was waiting for it. I was like, come on, do it. But they would.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. It was great. What do you think of what's the guy's name? The scientist who kept throwing out all the one-liners. He was kind of like a surfer dude.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I didn't really care for any of the humor. I mean, some of it was okay, but it just, I didn't laugh at any of it. I didn't hear anybody else in the theater laugh at it either when they, I don't know. It was flat. I just don't think it, Godzilla looked okay. I was going to say cool, but then he's like, I reminded your chubby comment, and he's like, well, he's better than that last one. Not the last, but the one that was like a Velociraptor looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, so it's better than that one at least, but it's just not as. I don't know. I think it could have been slimmed down a little bit. It would have looked better.
And I still have issues with the fucking machine, like boo boo boo. Why do you have to charge?
Yeah, I don't know how. And did you like when they went down to where his apparent home was, like where this ancient?
See, I did enjoy like the fact that they went a little deeper in his lore.
Mm-hmm. I almost liked it until they blew it up. Yeah. I'm thinking you have all this history down there. You can figure stuff out.
Which is what they're all about.
And then let's nuke it. Let's completely destroy it.
Why would you? Yeah, I don't understand that. There was, oh my God.
And that scene also, we were jumping all over the place, but that scene had a big problem when they're like, it's so hot in there, you'll melt. So the guy goes in there, gets out of his little hover thing, and just walks around with his mask off.
And seconds before, they're showing us it's popping droids, like machines. And and it's like they have that little thing that he went up in there in. They could have just sent the nuke in that. Mm-hmm. Like,
I did like those drones though. Those were pretty cool because they were like underwater, and then they could like turn into like a hover drone type thing and then fly around too. That was pretty.
Yeah, I like Monarch's setups, like their ships.
Their base was kind of underwater base. I'm not understanding why it was armed to the teeth if they were. Didn't want to destroy, like, because the main guy didn't want to destroy Godzilla. He wanted to be but he had all these guns, and they took the guy who wanted to kill Godzilla to tell everybody to put the guns down.
And it's clear that like they saw, more to that point, they saw Godzilla as a friend. So you're right. Why would they arm the space as as much as they did? Yeah.
Did you like the hollow Earth theory that they introduced in the movie?
The vortexes that
go through the Earth as opposed to like it's like a hollow Earth. Yeah, I
don't know. It was all right.
They threw some interesting ideas in there.
Stuff. Like I thought that was like I didn't like how they had to like. How do you know that's going to work? Like dropping a nuke on him or blowing a nuke up his face isn't going to, Right. Oh man,
I don't know. I think the movie just has a lot of problems. I mean, it's good for like an action giant monster flick that you don't think about. You don't think while you're watching it. You just kind of. But if you start thinking, you immediately start disliking it because you're like, "Why is that happening? Why is this happening? That doesn't make sense." But Godzilla's cool.
So one helicarrier lands at this base to get. Not Rodan. What's the big bad one? Chidora. One helicarrier lands there. They step out for about 5 minutes, a couple gunshots. Not even 5 minutes, like 2 minutes. Couple gunshots. All right, let's go. Like that literally all the defense you had at the monster you call Monster Zero. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have more defense at that base.
None of it made sense to me.
And it's just Monarch doesn't make sense. Like if you this thing's frozen, but why not like Mothra at least had a grid around her. It failed, but why not grid like that? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. I want to understand, but
And then when they go to that base where the mom and the daughter are being held, the dad does the same thing as the mom and the daughter did earlier, is run into danger when they shouldn't. I understand he wants to save his family, but like there's a bunch of armed people down there, and you go down there with like a handgun. They got like giant machine guns and armor and everything else, and you're just running down there with a handgun. Yet, and you're able to get to your daughter and ex-wife. I don't know if they're ex-wife or it's wife or what it is.
Yeah, ex-wife
without any problems. Basically, what everybody else is struggling.
Yeah, and I felt like they wasted Charles Dance. What's his name?
I don't remember.
I think so.
You think they wasted him as an actor?
Yeah, because like he basically was set up to be this big bad guy. Then which I guess was the big twist. It turned out to be the mom, but like he didn't really do much. He just yelled at her and played babysitter, basically. Like I don't. I did Ice Cube's son. I'm happy he's getting roles.
Mm-hmm.
He's O'Shea Jackson Jr. Shouldn't just call him Ice Cube's son.
Right.
But my favorite thing, though, one thing I did very much enjoy about this movie is all the King Kong Easter eggs.
Yep, there was a lot of Easter eggs in there for King Kong.
So setting up that fight, and then the little after credits thing that shows him jumping at. I wish they slowed that down because they were showing like they were basically trying to set us up for next movie by showing little snippets of newspapers and online readings and stuff like that. But they were going so fast. Like, yeah, we saw the world kind of growing back and rainforests coming over, and Godzilla apparently is keeping the other Titans in check. But then they showed that one little clip of a cave drawing of King Kong leaping at Godzilla. And it's good to know he's about chest height. Like he's about his neck height. So I just wish we would have got a little bit more on that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I wanted to enjoy this movie so bad, but I actually wish they would have gone less on the characters if they were going to use them that poorly. Right.
They could have shortened the movie a little bit too. It was a little long. I thought it kind of dragged in a couple of spots. The only thing that picked it up was like the monster fight. So everything else was just kind of blah for me. Not to say that people's performances weren't good. I mean, everybody did a decent job acting and making their characters seem believable. It just there was something flat about the relationships and the overall story.
What did you think of the interspecies erotica?
Little Mothra and Godzilla action. It seemed a little weird.
Makes no sense.
Nope.
So they were lovers back in the day or whatever. Yet we watch her just hatch.
That could have been like a different Mothra, maybe.
And he's just attracted to all.
But I don't understand. But there's just one. There's just one. Yeah, there's just one of everything. So how are they if they are reproducing? There's no way.
Yeah, like how? Why? Because why would they be lovers if that's the like? I don't understand.
I thought when Mothra was floating over where Godzilla was, like shining that light down, like she was gonna like sprinkle some dust down, like a Pokemon.
She turned the dust on him when he.
Yeah, and I thought like
vaporized.
Like doing some kind of little Pokemon action thing on somebody, and then they were gonna. I don't know what was gonna happen. I was like, what is he gonna heal him? Is he putting him to sleep? I didn't understand what was going on.
Stunt sport. Yeah, I don't know.
But I did like when Mothra fought, because you don't really think a moth will be able to fight.
When she what?
What's that?
When she what?
When she fought the... what was his name? Rodan, I think it was.
Rodan, yes, the lava one.
That pterodactyl looking thing. I mean, that was a pretty cool fight. 'Cause I'm thinking for sure Rodan's got that in the bag, but Mothra actually held her own, or his. Well, I guess it's her. Held her own. I don't know.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, that was. I wanted to see some of the other ones fight, like that big freaking Kong / Mastodon looking one.
Yeah, that mammoth looking one. I didn't know. It just looked weird. And the ones from the last movie were super odd too. Like I didn't really like those designs. I would have preferred something more traditional, like they did in this one with Chidora and Rodan and Mothra. But I don't know. It was cool to see giant monsters and with really good special effects.
But like our world is shit now in this universe. Like they were like all over the world wreaking. Like Washington D.C. was underwater literally. Like this. How do you come back?
I guess you got to hide in the bunker until it's over and then come out, take over. Yeah.
But apparently people were still getting the news and stuff. Like I guess little cities and towns were not affected. Boston's gone pretty much because I'll tell you what, when I keep forgetting the Hydra's name. Chidora. When Chidora took Godzilla up and dropped him, that explosion would have been a lot bigger than what it was.
Did you think Godzilla was really going to blow up because he sucked up all that radiation?
No, and I don't know why fucking this genius scientist suddenly started saying he's gonna go nuclear. Like, what do you mean? He sleeps on nuclear shit all the time. Why do you think he's gonna explode? Like, I don't get what you. At the most, he's gonna fart out of. I don't know where that came from. And clearly he didn't. He just started. Yeah. Oh man.
I did like the end of that fight though. When he comes up and you think it's one of the Chidora's heads, but it wasn't. It was him munching on its neck.
Vaporize that sumbitch.
That's how you do it.
Overall, sir, what do you think? Go watch.
No, it's tough. No. Definitely don't go watch this. I mean, wait for it to come out on video, check it out maybe. But I think, if you're a super huge fan of the first one and you just loved it, then this one's probably right up your alley. But if you saw the first one and it was flat for you, this one's even flatter. It's just not gonna. But the giant monster fights are cool. That's about it. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, I would say. I'm going to say go watch only for Godzilla versus King Kong. Which I guess don't really, other than all the King Kong, like knowing that he exists in this universe is the only thing that kind of connects him. But go watch only for King Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus King, whichever they're going to do. And then just kind of check out during the people scenes.
Yeah, go get some popcorn.
Because you'll be frustrated and upset. Why did she freaking not just go to... So I'm talking about 11 here. 11 takes the Orca, which is a device that can manipulate, which we didn't explain, but a device that can manipulate the monsters by sound, reproducing a sound that they're familiar with. She takes it to this stadium and starts to use it. And after that, why not just run? You know what it's going to do. Like, why not just leave it there? Like, I don't get that. And then the dumbass, and nothing smarter than this. We've seen Stranger Things season 1 and 2. The dumbass goes home, goes to her house where the monster fight's happening, literally right across the street.
Not the best movie. Sorry.
Let's see what old Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie. Oh, man.
I'm more interested in the audience score, which is actually pretty high.
What is it at? I'm not on that page.
Audience score is 85%, and the critics give it a 40%.
I'm with the critics this time. Barely doesn't happen, but
yeah, I'm not really sure how. I mean, I'm like I said, the giant monster fights are cool.
Movie, but, yeah, it's a.
But you're not going to this to think about anything, or it's not going to come home with you. You're not going to think about like what if?
I think that's my problem, because that first one actually was a little thought provoking because of the whole Bryan Cranston switcheroo, and then like it got a little detailed into the months. Like we didn't know that he was here to help us and all that stuff. So, well, yeah. All right, man. Now I'm just sad. Because I love these monsters. I've grown up with these things. Anyway, where you can find us. You can find us at gowatchamovie.com. You can find us at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Go Watch a Movie. All the stories I mentioned are on Go Watch a Movie. I'll get the trailers up. I think Rambo is up there already. I haven't put the one I talked about yet. And the podcast can be found anywhere podcasts are played. Leave reviews on iTunes. That helps podcasts, apparently. And share those posts and everything. We love that. And thank you guys so much for being constant listeners. I think that's everything. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie.